Sorry, it's been some time here since I got the showcase out. I've been busy with band stuff. I'm going to start putting out more videos, and I've been trying to think of a way to do this. And I haven't really utilized live streaming yet, so I'm gonna get into that. Try to get into that. Do some live streaming just to see how that works. And I wanted to just tell you guys a little bit of my story. I was working on a documentary, but I pretty much deleted my own documentary to make room for the showcase on my computer. So I can redo what I had done pretty quick. So real fast here, here's my story of it might give you a better idea of why I'm doing local band showcase and what this is all about, and just a quick generalization of sort of what I've been through. This is a quick version. So back when I was 15, 14, somewhere around there, I moved to Texas to live with my father, Mark Richards. He's a guitar player, blues player, rock and roll player, musician. Anyway, he's pretty cool, and moved to live with him in Texas for a few years. And while I was there, I managed to start up my first band when I was 15. Overwhelmed with the rules and the regulations. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get into all that. This is a quick version. There's actually a lot to my story because. Okay, so I'll make this as fast as I can. I was one of my dad's kind of first kids, and so the rules were very strict at the time, and I was getting grounded a lot. I wasn't cleaning my room enough, or I wouldn't wear my headgear out in public. Whatever I was doing, I wasn't on the right path, and so I decided to go back to Utah to start up a band in Utah. The last day, okay, so by this time, the entire year, I had been running in soccer in high school. I would always finish, whenever we'd run around the track, I would always be one of the last people to finish around the track. This day was my last day in high school, and I'll always remember this because it's just one of those things that gets ingrained into your memory. And there's a few of those memories that I have throughout my entire, well, quite a few. There's many, many, many stories I have, but I'm going to try and make this quick, and then we'll I'll actually dip into a full documentary, more of an authentic documentary later. Um, so it's the last day of high school, and my soccer coach knows this, and I'm wanting to just leave class. He doesn't want me to leave. He wants me to, because I have to go catch an airplane. Basically, I'm leaving that day. He wanted me to still run the last round of track, because I mean when you're in soccer, you run a lot. You go to the track and you run. You run for 10 miles. You run for 15 miles, and you run. And this day, I beat everybody. Something in me, something ignited in me and got me excited about being able to just be free and make my own decision. Something sparked inside of me, and I managed to beat everybody that day around the track. Anyhow, I end up back in Utah, and I'm going to speed this up a bit. I ended up meeting somebody named James Ensley, and we moved to California. I dropped out of high school. We moved to California. We played there for about 3 years. I had to move here after I was 18. I didn't have a place to stay. So played LA, played the Whiskey Go Go twice, played all kinds of places out in California. It wasn't like we were just some no band. We didn't manage to make it big either, though. I mean, we put out a couple CDs. Anyhow, I ended up back in Utah and had to start over and re-met with my childhood friend Ted Jackson. I talked about him on one of the showcase episodes. Anyhow, he ends up playing drums. There's a whole nother story. I'm skipping a lot. He ends up playing drums for about 8 years in the band. I get married. He goes to college. I end up just being an acoustic artist for a while, but not really. Well, we ended up in the studio at that point while he was in school, and so we were trying to keep it together, but through recording. We ended up playing a lot of shows in Utah throughout those 8 years. Anyhow, I go through divorce after being with this woman for about 6 years, married 1 year, and then had to kind of start over again. I had a CD, and so I found Marvin Dixon, and I found these guys here. Managed to put that together after being in a group with the guy that I'm in a group with now, the same band name, Outside of Society. But I was with Anthony Armenta before I was with these guys. Anyhow, once I got with these guys, we had like 4 powerful dudes, and we were able to just tour the country and go back to the Whiskey Go Go. Ended up going back to California.
I also forgot to mention the fact that my band has been on television a few times. Fox 13, Comcast, and Marty's Corner in California. I'm not sure how many times we've been on television through Comcast. It could be multiple, like, rounds of rounds that they do. Like, they might keep replaying it every once in a while. Anyhow, back to the show.
And playing somewhere I've never played, plus like the Whiskey Go Go. bunch in Arizona. Um, Played at Long Beach, and we did 2 tours out to California. We did 2 tours out to the Midwest. We cut an album called Those Who Remain in Glory, and also a demo called Never Be Done. They wanted me to sign a contract stating that at any time 3 members could kick 1 member out of the band, and after that point, that member who was kicked out could not use any of the songs or use the band name ever again. The problem with this scenario was that I owned the band name. In case you don't know, my name is David Richards. I sing for a band called Outside of Society. And this is just a quick, like I said, this is just a quick, just to get people a little bit familiarized with who I am. This is just a quick version of my story. So they wanted me to sign this contract, and I couldn't sign the contract because I owned the band name with my wife at the time, my second marriage. And she didn't want me to sign the contract because it didn't seem right, and they weren't willing to give us any time to renegotiate the contract. Marvin left the band, everyone else left the band. I ended up getting Anthony Armenta back, but now we're looking for a drummer. So it's just, right now it's just a bass player and a guitar player, but we've had a couple guys hop on drums. Still not the right, just what we're looking for, really. Let's see. So, right after this band had broken up, or this group of guys, I ended up getting hit by a car and dying. I ended up going through 5 surgeries, 20 blood transfusions, was in a coma for 3 days. I was hit by a car running across State Street because I thought somebody was after me. And if you've never been, downtown or lived in a hardcore kind of area, you kind of don't know what it's like until you've been there for a little while. I mean, and there's a difference between like living downtown and going downtown for a day, or a couple days, even a few days, or a week. I've gone downtown for a week before, and I was just there a couple days ago and stayed in a hotel, and it was starting to get a little scary by the end. I was ready to get out of there. Only there for 5 days. Just because people around the area, you don't know what they are planning on in their minds, and it starts getting a little scary. But anyhow, or you try telling them your story, and they're like, "No way, you've done all this and da 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 da," and you don't know what they're gonna do or what they're capable of, and your equipment's sitting right there in your room or whatever. But anyhow, back to the story. I sit by this car and I ended up dying and going ended up at the Murray Hospital. But what's really interesting about this story, and the part that I'm not going to dip into quite yet, is I recall being abducted by aliens while I was in a coma. I was no longer in my body. I was like this spirit entity on a ship. This is while I was either dead, in a coma, or both. Because when I woke up, obviously I knew where I was, and I can remember the entire story, intimate details of everything from start to finish. And I can tell you what parts of the story look like a dream, and then there are parts of the story that look and felt absolutely real. There were parts where I knew I was hallucinating, and then there were other parts where I wasn't so sure if I was hallucinating or not. Um, and and there were times where, like, I was aware I was in the hospital when I knew I was back in my body. I knew when that was, and anyway, they took me into this ship and brought me back. When the doctors were able to bring me back, they actually brought me back. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Um, Anyhow, after that, I ended up in a wheelchair for about 6 months. Did a show in a wheelchair. Tried to keep the band going. Still going. Um, Played some open mics at the Royal, but I mean we haven't been doing a whole lot. I've been trying to get this local band showcase going. We've been trying to get the new album, because the last album really did not sound how I wanted it to sound. We didn't use our amplifiers. The vocals are too loud, and there's only 4 songs on the entire album that are good, in my opinion. That stand. That should have been another demo, or we should have gone back to do more recording, or I could have hopped on a plane and went and fixed that album, but too many people wanted it out. Like we all wanted it out. I mean, I wanted it out. I was one of those people. But when you put out something too soon and unfinished, that's what you get. And we did it in 1 week. So 10 tracks, 1 week. Anyhow, so I need to redo. I'm redoing an album now, and I mean, I managed to break my foot getting in a fight with my ex-wife now, her son. He decided that it'd be a good idea to beat me up. So, anyway. And there's more to that story that he doesn't know about, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut here. So, anyhow, I was working over at Taco Bell. Left there. Every day I wake up, I'm a musician. I'm a singer. I want to sing. I mostly want to be a singer. I am a singer, but the thing is I'm not. There's no point in singing to nobody unless you haven't sang in a really long time, or you're just trying to keep up on your voice, or that kind of thing. But that's beside the point here. We're going to the studio, so I get to sing in in a little bit here in the studio, finally. But we were looking for a drummer, and it took this long. The reason it took this long is because I was working and saving up money for that person to get out here and record with me in the studio. So I ended up having to do the drums by myself, because he lied about catching the coronavirus and just ended up not coming. I did forget to mention that Sabrina Biddle passed away recently. That was really sad, and because I may have gotten back with her. There was that possibility, but can't say for sure. I might talk more about her later on in my documentary. Cover a little bit more of the story of what happened there. But I didn't want to leave her completely out of this. So, rest in peace, Sabrina. anyhow, I gotta wrap this up. It's probably been about 10 minutes. And so there's just a quick version, an update of what I'm going to be trying to do. I want to put out more videos. I'm probably going to have to start doing like either reviews again or um, something else, something that's just little short, sweet videos, because people, I don't think you understand how hard it is to find 40 bands that are practically unfindable because they have barely any views. You know how I have to dig really deep just to even find the right bands to put on the showcase in the first place. Then, I mean, this is a whole nother video. I can do a whole nother video about what it takes just to do one showcase and the time that I put into each showcase. The first one was only 7 bands, and so that one was like nothing. But after that, I started doing, 10, 15, 20, 30. Now we're up to like 40 bands an episode. It takes me a week to do one episode. And then you have all these YouTubers out there putting out, 4 videos a week. How do you expect me to do that? I can't, and I'm not going to chop up my precious artwork of an episode into 4 pieces. I'm never going to do it. I'll give you shorter versions, or if somebody else wants to create another, there might have to be another YouTube channel for that, but or maybe that's further down the road. Anyhow, people, local band showcase is not over, and neither am I. I'm still here. I died and I came back, and I'm going to bring you local band showcase. I already have the next episode filmed. It's just sitting on my computer. Thing is even if I put that out, okay, I'm still not keeping up with the traffic flow of all these other YouTubers that are putting out 4 videos a week. I can't keep up with that. It's like I wish that, and I can't. They can't slow down. So I've got to put out more videos, and so I'm just gonna start putting out more videos. That's all there is to it. Thank you, and have a nice day. Thank you for watching, if you did. See you soon.